I love this quote from Carl Jung. He says this. He says, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And this is really a self-awareness quote here. What items in your life do you call fate? Oh, I'm not the right personality for this. Oh, I just it's how my family is. It's how I was raised. It's the way I've always done it. I read this quote recently. I was in a group training, and the woman in there stopped it. She stopped and she said, "You know what? I'm going to stop telling myself, or what I've called fate in my life is that I'm always going to be overweight. When in reality, it's the food that I'm eating right now." And we were actually eating in the room, and that she had some fast food that was greasy, and she just realized, I can't continue to tell myself that this is just how I am. I have to take responsibility for it. And that's the ultimate thing. When we say something is fate, at that point we're saying, I have no control over it, and I'm not responsible for it. That's not a good way to live. And that's not the way that I'm gonna allow you to proceed in this course. So let's go ahead and bring those items that are unconscious, that are happening in the background of our mind, bring them to our awareness, to our consciousness, and make decisions and operate with new and better understanding. So with that, let's look at our d.i.s.c. Styles again. Let's do an overview of these styles as we kind of close out this section on finding ourselves and understanding ourselves and knowing ourselves. Let's close it out by looking at the positives and the challenge areas with the d.i.s.c. style. So the d.i.s.c. style overview. We got the D, I, S, and C. Once again, I have it in these 4 quadrants. I think it's easy to see. D being red, I being yellow, S being blue, and C being green. As we go down, we can see the D in that top left quadrant is known as dominance. Dominance is a word. It's not a bad word. It just is what it is, right? And that's the behavior style that comes to mind for that particular person, the D style. Now, what are the positive attributes of this person? Well, the D style is going to be direct. They're going to be self-assured. They're going to seize opportunities, and they are a results-oriented person. So those are fantastic qualities. Now, I don't remember exactly who it was who said this quote, but they said, every weakness is an overuse or an overextension of a strength. And isn't that true? So what's the weakness of this personality or behavior style? The negative of this is they can be dictatorial, they can be demanding, they can be boastful and sarcastic. And so that's where we can kind of have a downfall. Okay, let's keep going. Looking at the I style, the influence style. This person, they are people-oriented, they're persuasive, and they're good communicators. That is the positive side of this style. What is the negative? They can talk too much. They can be overly enthusiastic, and they can have difficulty with focus. That right there is reading my mail. So I'm ID, and that's how I flesh out and how I rank. And these negatives, I can relate to both. All right, let's keep going with the S. S's, I think, are just the best friends in the world. They're so steady. They're so consistent. They're so thoughtful. Like, thoughtful is a word that comes to mind with the S personality type. The steady, thoughtful. And I always, I get frustrated with myself because I always feel like I'm not a very good friend. Like, I'm all in when we're together, but I'm probably not going to remember your birthday and all those kind of things. And anyhow, I don't want to make excuses. But anyways, the S. So the S personality, that steadiness, they're a great listener. They're loyal, they're supportive, they're consistent, and they're persistent. What a great quality, persistence. Where can they have some downfalls or some negatives? And they can be passive. They can be indecisive, they can be resistant to change, and they can be over tolerant of bad situations. Okay, let's keep going with the C personality type. Conscientiousness. Okay, let's think about what that means. So they are the critical thinkers. I'm married to one. They're detail oriented. They're precise. They're accurate. It's so good that I'm married to a C personality. We really complement each other. I help her have more fun and be spontaneous, and she helps us not buy things that we shouldn't, right? She's an accounting major, so business and accounting. But anyhow, where are the downfalls? Now, these don't apply to my wife, okay? But other C personality types, they can be critical of self and others. They can be overly perfectionistic, and they can be detached and aloof. So those are kind of the downsides to those different styles. Now, here's a question for you. Why does it matter how I sell or how my clients buy? Just think about that for a minute. Why would it matter how I sell or how my clients buy? Here's a great quote that I believe answers that question. John Maxwell says this. He says, connecting increases your influence in every situation. Connecting with your client. Why does it matter? Your style and how your client buys, their buying style, your selling style, their buying style. Because if you want to connect with them, you have to bridge that gap. You have to navigate through that divide between you two. Now, there are going to be times when you are there's a client, they're just the exact same wavelength as you, same personality, same behavior styles, and it's clicking, it's easy, right? But there are other times that you're going to have to work a little bit harder and navigate and connect with people that aren't exactly like you. Well, that closes us out on the first section of finding ourselves and really understanding ourselves and our style. Now, understanding our own style is so awesome. It's so great. It brings tremendous awareness. We can be better because of it. We can be better husbands and wives and parents and siblings and all that good stuff, and friends and workers and sales professionals. After knowing this is great. But ultimately, if we want to make more sales, we've got to get into the next section. And this is the real meat of it, which is finding our clients. I know that's what you've been waiting for. And so we are going to jump right into it. Head on over there now. Finding our clients.